interdisciplinary collaboration, like that I'm going to document that this patient has had this done every 4 hours. Okay, that's what it's talking about when it's talking about indirect care. And the other piece of this, and I have it asterisked on my page, is a lot of our interventions, you guys are going to learn this as you progress through courses, you go through policy, you learn about the Nurse Practice Act, you learn about the fact that organizations are policy driven. You're going to have standards of care that you have to follow, and those are interventions, okay? Like repositioning patients every 2 hours, certain things that have to happen. So standards of nursing interventions, clinical practice guidelines and protocols, all those types of things are going to come into play with the types of interventions that we do, okay? And then the last piece, before we get into the nursing process piece, and we may run out of time before Dean Sebastian comes, I don't know, we're going to try to get most of it done. Evaluation. What is evaluation? See if it worked. How are we doing with those first 4 steps of the nursing process? Okay? We have to determine if a patient's expected outcomes or goals have been met. And if a patient's expected outcomes and goals have not been met, what do you think our job is? Develop a new plan. When you guys think about school, or an expectation in your own life, if you have a problem that you're trying to solve and you can't get that problem solved, do you just drop it? No. What do you do? We go back to the drawing board and we figure out what it is I can do differently to make this work. We reassess, exactly. And so this is when we're looking at evaluation, this is what we're doing. It's an ongoing process. It should occur anytime we have contact with a patient, okay? And I even, in here, I gave an example. Once an intervention's been completed, there must always be an evaluation. The nurse administers Tylenol, 325 milligrams, 2 tablets for complaints of headache. In 1 hour, the nurse evaluates the effectiveness of the medication. So anytime I do something, I'm going back to see. If I educate you, am I evaluating you too? I'm doing the same thing as a nurse educator, okay? If outcomes are not met, then the plan of care has to be modified. We have to look back and say, have we set the goals too high for this patient, okay? And if an expected outcome or goal is met, then the nurse and patient can agree to discontinue that portion of the care plan, okay? So, we are going to flip to the next page, and we are going to put it all together, everything that we've just done with one nursing diagnosis, okay? So, what I want you to do, the very top part on this page, remember where we put our very first label on our chart? Back here on page, 6? So, what is your first diagnosis label that you did? Ineffective airway clearance. So for mine, I have ineffective airway clearance, okay? And then I went ahead and wrote in up above my related to, and then my defining characteristics on that very top, okay? All right? Is everybody seeing that and how to do that? Okay. And this is just one nursing process. How many did we list on that page? 6, 5, 6, 7. This is just one piece of the puzzle, okay? So does everybody see? We're taking that, basically that first column on whatever first nursing diagnosis, and we're writing it across the top.